Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hi dear friends, we are back with our book Living Spring by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier, and today we are going to talk about chapter 130 in the inner sphere. And let's read from 1 Peter 4 verses 10. Let each one of us serve others with the gift we have received, as good stewards of the multiform grace of God. And it was Peter. Life is a divine machine, of which all beings are important parts, and cooperation is the essential factor for producing harmony and the goodness for everyone. There is nothing that does not have a meaning. No one is useless. Each person has received a certain talent from the divine providence in order to serve the world and receive from the world the wages of spiritual growth. Old or young, healthy in body or not, remember that you are to use the gift you have received from the Lord, so that you may advance towards the great light. None are so poor that they cannot give of themselves. Even paralytics, bound to the cot of infirmity, can furnish calmness and patience to others by expressing peace and resignation. So do not neglect the work that heaven has entrusted to you, and avoid the preoccupation of interfering in your neighbor's task under the pretext of helping. Those who fulfill their duties act naturally on behalf of the overall equilibrium, many times believing we can do other people's work better than they can. We are nothing but agents of disharmony and trouble. Wherever we are, let us use diligence and nobility to accomplish the mission that life offers us. Remember that time is the same for everyone, and that it is our silent and inflexible judge. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow are three phases of a single pathway. Every day is an opportunity to sow and to reap. Therefore, let us do our job and remember the words of the gospel. Let each one of us serve others with the gift we have received, as good stewards of the multiform grace of God, so that God's grace may enrich us with new blessings. Again, Emmanuel is blessing us with a beautiful chapter, and he's reminding us that each one of us are here with something to give, that we are important, that none of us that are incarnated on earth is useless, but that each one is important. And he, just like in the book Thought and Life, he's explaining it like a machine. He says, life is a divine machine of which all beings are important parts. So you and I, beloved friends, are important and in part of a universal plan that God has for us and for everyone around us, so that we can work together. And he says it is it's an essential factor for producing harmony and the goodness for everyone. So it is the working together that will help us accomplish all the good things that we need to do. And one day there will be this transformation on earth in a fraternal way of being in working together. And for now, let's practice that every day. He says each person has received a certain talent from the divine providence in order to serve the world and receive from the world the wages of spiritual growth. Now you would ask, but what is my talent? If you look around yourself, in your family, in where you are incarnated, that is where God wants us to work, to educate ourselves, to help ourselves evolve, but also to be the hands of those that are around us. So if you see where you are placed, in your workplace, in your family, in your neighborhood, in your country, that is where God wants you to work. He doesn't want you to work in another country for other people. You have to work where you are. So if you look around you, you will see what you have to do, where you have to work. And sometimes it is through the hardest of trials where God will show you what needs to be done and where we need to work. And yes, sometimes it is needed for our own expiation, so that we can, of this life as well of the past. So if you look around you, remember that work in your family, but also work for the greater good of everyone, because Emmanuel says that it is needed that we work like a machine, parts of a machine, which means that it is not only you and your family, direct family, but the fraternal family that we need to look after as well. And he says, old or young, healthy in body or not, remember that you are used to are used to give. That you may. Remember that you are so to use the gift you have received from the Lord, so that you may advance towards the great light, the gift of being incarnated, the gift of another day, the gift of having an opportunity to correct ourselves, to be of help to others. None are so poor that they cannot give of themselves. And he's maybe talking about money, but the thing is, it's not only about what we accumulate. It is sometimes we are so poor in virtues, poor in love, poor in peace. So we need to get rich in that, to give out these things and not judge ourselves according to what we physically have. Even paralytics bound to the cot of infirmity can furnish themselves and patience to others, and calmness and patience to others by expressing peace and resignation. To accept where we are, to accept and be calm and see that what we can do in any circumstances, regardless. And he says, so do not neglect the work that heaven has entrusted to you, and avoid the preoccupation of interfering in your neighbor's task under the pretext of helping. So don't interfere and think you can do it better. If they have a task to do, let them do it and bless them. Inspire them to do better, to do more, to do good. Many times believing we can do other people's work better than they can, we are nothing but agents of disharmony and trouble. So do your work and let others do their work in their time, in their way, because that is what God gave them, free will, so that they also can learn. Wherever we are, let us use diligence and nobility to accomplish the mission that life has offered us. Remember that time is the same for everyone, and that it is our silent and inflexible judge. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow are the three phases of a single pathway. Every day is an opportunity to sow and to reap. Every day is a new day, a new opportunity. Therefore, let us do our job and remember that words of the gospel. Let each one of us serve others with the gift we have received as good stewards of the multiform grace of God, so that God's grace may enrich us with new blessings. What a beautiful, beautiful piece for us to focus on, to be reminded. Thank you so much again for joining me today, beloved friends. Until next week. Bye bye.